So I have a whole baby box for my son. His full name is Eugene, but we call him G for short. And this is G Memories. And it says age newborn to 3. But really, if it's anything important that I find or that I feel like needs to be kept, it'll go in this box, or I'll just make a different one. But I just want to show y'all throughout all the years from when he was a newborn to now what I have in here. So hey y'all, today I'm going to be talking about my experience of being a 15-year-old pregnant, the things that I went through, how my pregnancy was, and just any like tips and tricks that I have, and just overall the differences from being a mother in her 20s and then a mother in her 15 years of life. So let's get started. Let me just go to the beginning when I met my baby father. We were in 10th grade, and I just remember I came to school 2 weeks later from the start date of school because I had got suspended at the end of the school year for fighting. So they gave us 2 weeks to the new school year as well to be suspended or whatever. And so I came in, and my main focus was really to just get my school work done, because I already knew that I was gonna fail that semester moving in or coming in, because it was obviously too late. We were in the middle of the semester, and it's like high school is easy to pass, it's just hard when you miss so many days. That's the only thing. If you go every day, you're gonna pass, like for real. So anyways, I met my baby father in third hour. We had the same history, and that's the first time I seen him, and I just thought he was real cute. He had like real curly hair, and he was like really reserved, more to himself, but people fuck with him. And yeah, and then after that, I remember my first year I did A-lunch. A-lunch is you go to your class, after the bell ring, you go to lunch, and you go to your new class. My 10th grade year, I had B-lunch, and I don't know if I was listening or not, but I obviously wasn't, because when I left from B-lunch, I went to a whole new class, so I was an hour ahead. I'm in 6th hour when I'm supposed to be in 5th hour. And I remember going up to the 3rd floor. I was trying to find my Spanish class, because that was my last class to go to. And I see my baby father, and he was with one of his friends at the time. And I was asking his friend, because I knew his friend. He was really, really cool, and I knew him my 9th grade year, and so I asked him. I had no idea who this dude was, so I asked him, I'm like, hey, do you know where this class at? And then instead of like, I don't really want to say his name, but after he left, like instead of him coming, the dude I knew, my baby father came, and he came and he showed me a Spanish class, but it wasn't the Spanish class that I was supposed to be going to. Like, I knew this one because my friend had her last year, or not that 9th grade year, so I knew her, but I didn't want to be mean because he was nice enough to show me the class, so I let him show me. You know how embarrassing it is when you walk into a classroom when you late and people just stare at you. It's like, I don't know what that is, but people stare at you and shit. And so, you know, I was willing to take the embarrassing stares to not hurt him or be mean, because, you know, he was nice enough to show me the classroom. So once he left, I had to him like, oh, do you know the classroom? Because I didn't know, and I asked the teacher, and she showed me or whatever. But we had that interaction, and then I remember he had wrote me, or added me on Facebook, and then he wrote me, he was like, FWM, which means fuck with me. And then I was like, okay. So then we would be writing each other here and there, talking or whatever. So then he asked me if I want to go out with him, and I was like, yeah. So we started to go out, and then that's when we had really started talking more. So 6 months later, I ended up missing my period. Now, me and my baby daddy, we was playing the devil's game, because we were doing the pull-out game, and y'all already know what that is. And thought we was smooth, it caught up to us. So boom, 6 months later, I missed my period. So I had called him and I had told him like I missed my period or whatever. He was like, well, why don't you just see like what's going on, like good, or if you're pregnant, like why do you want to go see? And I was like, I don't know, like I just brushed it off. And back in my head I knew like this could be, I could possibly be pregnant. Like I remember, I know the day I got pregnant, I just know. But anyways, I'm just like thinking to myself, well, I go when I go. I had waited a whole week or so before I even went, and the whole time didn't get on my period. I just knew as the days went on, I just knew. But I was like, okay, fuck it, let me go. So I went to one of my health clinics and I did the little pee sample, and the lady came back in and she was like, well, turns out you are pregnant. And I was just like, and a little part of me wanted to cry, but I didn't really want to cry. Like I don't know, like I wasn't that sad or mad about it. And so she was like, you can make a call if you would like. So I tried to call him at the health center, but he didn't answer. So when I had got home, I had called him. And I know we was talking about something, and I was just like, well, I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? Like, that's exactly how he said it. And I was just like, yeah. And I don't really know what else we talked about, but I mean, he just made me feel very comfortable. He was my first boyfriend. He was the first person that took my virginity. He was my first for a lot of things. So y'all already know how that goes. And he was not a pushy type of person. Very calm, very mellow, very, if you want to do it, we can, but it's not a necessity. Like, he really liked me for me, I guess. So he just wanted me. I just kept it. It was just me and his secret for a minute. And I would ask him like, did you tell your parents? And he was like, no. And I'm like, he was like, did you tell them? I'm like, nah. So anyways, moving on. It was my brother's graduation. Insert a picture here, y'all. It was my brother's graduation, and my auntie and my granny came up in my room, and they just looked at each other, and then they looked at me, and I just seen them like my back was turned against them, and I was doing something, and I just turned around, and they just both stared at me, but they said no words at all. And from then, I had a feeling that they kind of knew, but I just didn't think that deep. I'm just like, they just staring, whatever. But the biggest indicator was my boobs. Like, y'all, like, to put in perspective of how I looked, I was very petite, small little girl. Like, I was at that time. And so, out the blue, my boobs growing, and I'm with this dude. Like, obviously, they know more, so they probably knew then, and they did because my TT had told me she knew. But anyway, so boom. Remember, I was on the phone with my baby daddy, right? And this had to be like 5 o'clock in the morning, and we talking and everything, and I don't know, I must have been angry or whatever, but I was talking too loud for my brother. So he come in the room and he busts in my room like, if you don't shut up, I'm gonna take your phone. And I'm like, you can't take my phone. So we get to arguing, then he come over, and I'm laying in my bed, so he come over, and I'm on the phone with my baby daddy, by the way, if I didn't mention that. And he come over, he wrestling, so he's on top of me trying to wrestle me to take my fucking phone, bro. So anyways, I was like, get off me, I'm pregnant. And so he got up, he was just like, what? And then he came, he like stood, he left, and he came back yelling at me, cussing me out and all this and that. Talking about we can't have no baby right now, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then he was talking about getting an abortion and how that's the best option for us, whatever. And me and my baby daddy on the phone crying and this, that, and the third. And then eventually he left, and then we both fell asleep on the phone. And then I woke up to my TT being on my brother's phone, so he called my auntie and told her. And so then I talked to her for a minute. She said she was gonna come over. It had to be like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was really early. And I was like, okay. And so she had came over. It probably wasn't that early, I'm not sure, but I just know she eventually came over in the daytime. And like, I had told my mom, and she was just there with me. And then my mom got mad. She was cussing me out, and I was crying again. Very, very emotional day, you are. And then I went back upstairs in my room, and I fell asleep. And when I woke up, it was about 9, 10 o'clock. Probably, I'm thinking, it was late, but not that late. And then my mom called me downstairs, and then she rubbed on my belly and talked to me. And then everything was good. Like, she wasn't that mad after that. And so then I was like relieved. Like, so I'm thinking like I have nothing else to hide at this point. time to show the world that I'm pregnant. Like, I'm tired of keeping my baby a secret. Like, that's what I'm on. Like, y'all be so I don't want to, I'm just gonna hide my baby. Like, it was never like that with me. Like, or I'm gonna hide my pregnancy. Now I get why people hide their babies, because people are very, very weird. But I don't know, I was happy. I was excited to show my baby, or that I was pregnant. And then when my baby got born, I'm gonna insert a picture as well. I had posted a picture from Snapchat on my Facebook. It said, when your BB just now showing, and that means your baby bump. And yeah, that's how my family found out. And how his family found out was through my picture. And then so that was just that. And I mean, I had a lot of support. My baby shower went well. When I had my baby, all of my family, like my delivery room was filled with most of my family. And his mama came for a minute and he was there, but all of them was packed up in my room. And yeah, I think, oh my gosh, y'all, so the contractions, okay, boom. So I wake up for work because I'm working at Wendy's at the time. I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna insert a picture of that too. So I'm working at Wendy's at the time, and I'm getting ready for work, but I just, I had Braxton Hicks before, and they ain't never felt this intense. So I called my TT and I let her know, I'm like, no, like and she was like, yeah, I think you about to have a baby today, just off your voice. And so she was like, just get your stuff ready, we're gonna go to the hospital. Bruh, the longer, the more them contractions just expand, and the pain is the pain. Oh, Jesus. So by the time I get to the hospital just to get checked in, just to see how much I was dilated, I was contracting. And I'm screaming, y'all. And my big cousin was there, and she was just looking so sad for me. I swear she was. And I was just like, I'm never having a baby again, and yelling and screaming and shit. And then yeah, so that was that. And then I had my baby boy, and I'll insert a picture of him there. I'm just gonna be inserting all types of pictures. And then yeah, so that was basically how I found out I was pregnant. And then it's just the whole shebang of, like, from that to telling my family to having a baby. I ended up finishing my whole 10th grade year at high school. So I finished my whole 10th grade year pregnant, and then my 11th and 12th I did online. I did not graduate with my class. I was supposed to graduate in 2017. I graduated in 2020, but me and my baby father, we both graduated. He graduated in like 2018, and through the same school though, through Penn Foster. And then later on, when we first got our first apartment and we got settled in, I paid my tuition to finish my whole it was $1,000, y'all. That's not a lot now that I think about it, but that's still like a lot. And I was proud of myself. I paid my full tuition off and I finished high school. I was very, very proud of myself. And I could find like the status that I made on Facebook. I'm gonna insert all of that stuff. But just the whole thing of basically the cons of how I was feeling at the time had started after, like, I had my son. And when he was about 6 months, 8 months, I just started to feel like, man, I'm just missing out on social life. Like, I'm missing out on going out more with my friends. I just felt like the outsider, because I was the very first one to have a child out of my friend group, and we're young, but I have my family, so it was different. Like, I had family, so even though I wasn't having fun out with other people and friends and new people, I was having a fun time with my baby father. Like, his mom was throwing parties and shit, and then we would just get drunk. Like, I know we were young, not supposed to be doing stuff like that. I don't recommend no young person be drinking, but it's different. Like, I was going through a whole lot, so it wasn't like a motherfucker was just living the best life, but I had my experiences. So, like, we would have our fun, we would drink, we would smoke, we would celebrate as much as we could. We would do as much as we could, go out, do things, go out to eat with each other, go to movies. We did stuff like that. So it wasn't like I missed out on life in general. It's just you know how when you're young and you want to go out with your friends, and you know it's a different vibe when you with your baby daddy than when you with your friends, you know. And I think it's that, and just the amount of money, financial. I didn't have a lot of money. We both did it, and that was another thing. That was a whole big thing. So financially stable is a must when you're having a child. I think it's not about how much money you got. It's just if you're financially stable. Do you have a consistent job? Do you have a place to stay? Do you have all the extra toiletries and products you need for your baby? Do you have enough money to do fun things with your child after they get born? Like, all of that stuff just adds up, and you know, that was a bit of concern, but not really. So my comparison from being young and now being a mother is just different. Like, I had my mom to depend on for housing, money I was getting from my mom, and sometimes my family members, sometimes even work. It was like I was 100% responsible for my child, but I still had a lot of support when I was younger from now. And I guess that's the biggest thing. Like, if I fall right now, my kid's gonna fall with me, and that's a no-go. So it's more pressure now to get my life together. It's more pressure to, do you want to live this life forever? I'm not in the worst situation, in the worst living situation, but I'm not where I want to be by far, not even close. So it's more of how I want my children's childhood to be. I got 2 kids now. My second child I had 5 years after my first. But the whole point is me just wanting more for them and for myself. And then you gotta really consider, just when you're younger, and this is just for any person, sometimes you can start off really strong with your partner when you get pregnant and even years after that, but when y'all start having problems and the real cracks start to cracking in the relationship and it's real problems that come into play, you start to having to reconsider if you want to be with this person, if this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. Like, your whole mental change. You don't see yourself as a 15-year-old. You're not gonna live like it. At 15, I seen things way different from what I see in Max now, and so that's another thing to consider. Like I said, relationships, family, the people you're around, the life you want to live. And that's all I can say. Like, it's just I want more for myself and for my family. It's like I'm really ready to step into adulthood. Before, it didn't really feel like that. I mean, I was calling myself an adult, but did I feel like one? No. But now I do. But now I'm like, I'm an adult that needs to get on her shit, because I don't feel like I'm all the way there. So that's what it is. It's just a lot of self-reflection, a lot of wanting more that I never had in a different way, if that makes sense. So I want to show y'all, like, kind of how I was as a younger person, like going back to when I was in high school, when I was in 10th grade. This is something I just want to show y'all that I have. So this is how you know I'm like a low-key a hoarder. Like, I hoard things. If I could hold on to it, I will. Now, if it's starting to get cluttery, I'm gonna throw the least important thing away and keep the most important thing, but I'm still gonna keep something out of what I throw away. So this is, I just found this in a box where I have all these little papers from my hospital visits to random stuff like my bills from years, from 2015, well, not 2015, from 2018 and 2019 and all types. I just got all types of stuff in that box that I don't feel like I want to throw anything away at this very moment. I don't need to. And then I always think about recycling the paper, so I keep it just in case, like, I get a recycler or I just really throw it away at a recycling bin. But this is the this is the paper of my depart date from when I had my son. I crossed out my name and everything. So it says 12/25. That was the day we came in. That was the admission day. So I have a whole baby box for my son. His full name is Eugene, but we call him G for short. And this is G Memories. And it says age newborn to 3. But really, if it's anything important that I find or that I feel like needs to be kept, it'll go in this box, or I'll just make a different one. But I just want to show y'all throughout all the years from when he was a newborn to now what I have in here. So these were printed off at school. Like, I was trying to make a collage of pictures of him on my wall. So I have this one. I'm gonna show y'all on this side the color ones. So this one says, back when G wasn't my G, he was my angry man. This was in 2016, or that's, I guess, when I wrote that. And this is tummy time. It says G first time doing tummy time. This was, oh, G just got out the bathtub. Now look at him. And this one, finally, after a long time of trying to put G to sleep, he finally did. I could get some work done. Yeah, I was actually doing some schoolwork then. And I put him to sleep, and guess what? He did not stay in there for too long at all. All right, so now for the real stuff. For real, now for the real stuff. All right. This is one of his shirts he wore the first weeks of him coming home. This is his, this is where he came home in. This was his very first outfit he came from the hospital in. As y'all can see, he got little milk stains. Now, I breastfed my son for about a few weeks, and then I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I had to go back to school, and it was just a little too much. But he got breastfed for a little bit, but then he went to actual Similac. This was his birthday. I think, was it Cars first? I think it was Toy Story first, but I got this back when he was probably, I think the Cars one when he was like 2. I ain't gotta, this is Cars, Toy Story, Toy Story. This is G's 3rd Easter, so he was 3 years old. He'll make it. And this is something he designed himself, and I got the date. I always date stuff. So this was December 31st. Wow, the last day at 11:20 p.m. and he wanted to paint, so we painted. Y'all, this is one of his second favorite passy. Now the first one, it didn't have this little thing on the back. It just had like a cap like to cover the nipple, and then it was all blue, and that was his favorite one, but I ended up running that over with a car. And yeah, his candles when he was 2, 1, and 4. Y'all, his actual sandals, look at him. He bit on that too, by the way. Look how small his little chinky feet was. Oh yeah, another little birthday little cake toy. Very first toothbrush right here. This was his, like, this is when he was like 3. And it fell in the trash, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep it. Like these teeth, he just lost these a few months ago. He got them pulled actually. And then this was from my baby shower. Say baby boy. This is from a lot of the stuff from the hospital. Okay. So boom, this is one. This one right here. And then this one right here was from my granny and granddad. And this was my very first Mother's Day. My teacher gave me this card. These were for my son's birthday. These were pictures from Chuck E. Cheese and him. Look how he's looking at me though. Why would he looking at me like that? Y'all, this is the taker right here. Look at that. Look how small his feet was. Then I also even got, when my son get the little hearing test screening thing, I got that. This is him and his dad. Me doing a little checkup. I have a pamper of what he actually used. It was only a little bit on here, but he actually used this because y'all can see like the lining. So it's a little pee-pee in here. I'm gonna show y'all. But it says, congratulations Gino and Rashia. Enjoy your beautiful baby, enjoy your beautiful baby boy. It was a pleasure caring for you, Shannon. So tweet. But yep. And she was an RN. I cannot wait. I'm actually going to school for that. So this was an actual picture of him. A day after he was born, my sweet love. Daddy was right by mommy's side for the whole time. Aw, look at her. So this is what was on like the baby bed. Y'all know how they have that. And I used this up until I couldn't manage his hair with this comb anymore. But y'all can see the little hair particles in it. And this is his actual bracelet. My TT actually made this for him. Look how small his bracelet, because he wore this for a minute until he couldn't no more. Look how small it is. Look what that say. It says umbilical cord when it fell off. And I kept my daughter's as well. And it fell off January 7th, 2015. But yep, that's his umbilical cord. Still in there, still looking the same. Looks just the same. This was, look how old and dingy this paper looked. Oh my gosh, it looks brighter on camera because the sun is reflecting it, but it is very old and dingy. And this is like a few weeks after my TT had came over and we was thinking a name. The last thing is this, well, one of the last things is his little bracelet from the hospital. And then this is an actual picture of my ultrasound when he got a little bigger. So I just want to say, like, despite you missing out on memories that you have, you are also creating some. So enjoy the memories that you create with your child, whether you are in your teens or if you're older, because I see a lot of older women as well, just like acting like they don't enjoy pregnancy, they don't enjoy the moments that they have. It's like a bad thing. God gifted us with the ability to push out a baby, and thank the Lord above, I didn't need a C-section. I barely teared. I had a little rip from the inside, but they didn't actually tear me. Both of my pregnancies was exactly the same. And then, like, also with the gender reveal, like, you got girls and stuff that they be mad that they don't get a boy or they don't get a girl and stumping around with attitudes. I just think that's real fake. Like, just enjoy what you have, because even if it's not what you wanted, I wanted a girl, but I'm actually happy I had my boy and then my girl, because now my daughter has a big brother for a protector, you know. But you know, people just seem so ungrateful with the whole pregnancy. It's like, ugh, I can't wait to drop this baby and snap back. It's not all about that. Just enjoy the moment. My whole point is to enjoy the moment. If you are a young woman that has had a child, though, yes, you can enjoy it because you're pregnant. Don't take away from your experience. You can create all these memories. So these are years worth of memories that I have in just one box. So I missed out on memories, but I created many more, many more. So keep that in mind. These are just my tips now. I'm giving y'all tips. I just feel like embrace what you have created, what you are creating. Okay, don't take away from your experience. Don't allow no one else to. Just enjoy every moment outside of pregnancy. Just any unexpected experience, any unexpected thing that happens in your life, embrace it. And try to accept it with love. Life is all about experiences. It's all about learning. It's all about that. So just see the bigger picture and everything, and I promise you will turn out just fine. With that being said, y'all, I'm happy that y'all stayed with me throughout this whole video. If y'all liked it, give me a like, share, comment, subscribe, and everything above. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.